Hello, my name is Esther. I am currently in women's choir and symphonic band, and today I am here to teach you a little bit about how to improve your sight singing. I'm currently in the proficient class, and I don't spend more than 20-30 minutes on each week on the assignments, so I thought I would share a little bit about what I do to make it easier and faster for me to get better grades in sight singing. Firstly, you want to practice with the method book. So when you see that you have certain assignments assigned, and then if I was worried about not getting a good grade the first time, and I would have to click out and you know the drill, restart, relog into Smart Music. To avoid all that hassle, you want to start by practicing in the method book so you don't have to immediately turn it in. So you want to go into the method book, Sing at First Sight, and then go into whichever exercise you're assigned for that week, and then you can practice it again and again and again without having to submit it, so you don't have the stress of having one chance to get it right. So that would be my first tip. Practice in advance in the method book so you don't have stress of clicking out before the assignment ends, etc. And second tip I would have is to identify the starting note. So for novice, it will probably be do or so. And then for proficient, I think I've seen do, mi, fa, and sol, and the do in the octave above. So make sure to know your starting note, and that goes along with my third tip, which would be to sing along with the do, mi, do, sol, do that they give you in advance to the piece. So, and hold on to that do inside your head or whatever note it is. So they might go do, mi, do, sol, do, sol. And then you want to get that, you want to have that note in your head. So do, 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 do. And then when it starts, you go do, re, mi, or whatever your assignment is. So that would be one of my biggest tips. Sing along with the arpeggio that they give you in advance. So it's really easy for you to find the starting pitch and you don't have to worry about it. My fourth tip is actually, I think, a tip that not a lot of people know. When you're doing your assignments, in the 1 minute or a minute and a half that they give you in advance to the assignment, where you're like practicing the notes and looking at the notes, you can click on individual notes to hear what the pitch is. So if you're trying to sing intervals and you're not sure what the next interval should sound like, click on the note gently, and then you can see, you can hear what that pitch is supposed to sound like. And number 5, because there's a limited amount of time to practice before the clicker goes off and your assignment starts, I would recommend to only practice the hard parts. And if there's any section that repeat, like you see the same part in 2 different locations, I would recommend not practicing that part, going to the hard parts first, and then coming back to the repeats if you have time. Number 6, I would recommend this for my altos out there, because I know the struggle. Some assignments can get pretty high, like in a D or E. You might like struggle, and then because you're worrying about if the note's going to come out, even though you know what the note is, because you're worried about how high it is, you might get it wrong. So I recommend starting in your head voice. Don't start in your chest voice, because then you might need to think about making that transition, and that might be a little harder for you. So start in your head voice, or start in a comfortable position where you can quickly flip into that higher register, so you're not worrying about how high the note is, just what the note is. And the last tip I have, and the tip that could help you out the most essentially and completely change your grade, is to ask Mrs. Gerst or Mr. Rosier, if you're in middle school, to reassign your assignments. They will do it for you. If you have a 50%, or even if you're not happy with your 80%, whatever you're not comfortable with, you can email them saying, can you reassign anything underneath a certain score? Like for me, if I got a 70% in something, I would not want that to lower my overall grade. So I would ask Mrs. Gerst can you reassign anything under 80% or under a 70%? And then you can redo those assignments to get a better grade, and you can follow my tips that I shared previously to really get a good grade. So hopefully sight singing is easier for you now, and you can ace all your assignments. Bye. Hope you enjoyed and learned something.